Yeah. Good evening and welcome to the June 21st meeting of the Waterboro Board of Selectmen. Would you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, Matt's going to see if Marina's available to swear David and I in.
Oh, yes.
Or swear at us or whatever.
I don't really know. It was a neat sound though. It wasn't I.
It's just another transaction. Just a couple minutes you can be.
Well, we're stuck until we're sworn in, so.
Matt can go over his report, maybe. Put me down through that, can't we?
For that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a quick update here on some items. I passed out the paper in front of you. Siding window project next door should be completed within a week. We have posted for the finance HR position. This will remain open until a suitable candidate has been found. There's also an email that was sent out to you folks earlier from the code enforcement of a serious septic violation located at 900 Main Street in South Waterboro. It's at the corner near Main and Holmes. He's requesting some additional guidance from Natalie, so we're waiting to get legal opinion on that. It is a 4-unit apartment complex with sewage running out of the tank and onto the ground. He has notified of the violation and continues to work with the property owner. For Jason in Public Works, he's spoke with a vendor, Bill Single, correct? Bill Single, so the main irrigation, I believe, is a company. Some upgrades at Friendship Park, some type of irrigation system, $12,000 to $15,000 is a ballpark, but we need to get into a regular fertilization maintenance program down there as well. We're trying to meet with them. Jason's on vacation the rest of this week after today, so we'll shoot for next week once I get back, but where he can meet with them. Jason's in the process right now working on some vendors and information regarding the trackless multi-purpose machine and what will best meet our needs. Running into some challenges with the payment, so this may have to be a request to sole source as well. Middle Road's paving project has been complete. He's on 300 feet of Scoot Away. Drainage on Bricker Lane has been completed. Drainage on Pheasant Run is nearing completion. And the crews continue to work on ditching on Deering Ridge Road. And pavement will be done prior to the end of the month. In the packet tonight on the agenda also we've asked for you to give approval for the ordering of the ambulance. We can lock in a price. 18-month is the estimated delivery time. No financing is needed this current fiscal year or next fiscal year. We'll work on finalizing the SCBA packs. Hopefully we'll have information soon on that. And again, we need to try to lock in the pricing because everything continues to increase. The generator project at Mass Basic Middle School has been completed, and we have the final paperwork from Bannock Corporation, and we're going to work to close out the grant with FEMA and submit for the appropriate reimbursements. And the generator had to start this past week, so it's on and running.
Does that run the whole facility or just
It runs a portion of the facility to make it as a shelter, but there's enough emergency lighting that the whole facility would be operating throughout the building.
So emergency lighting throughout, but
It runs your heating, the kitchen, the gym, cafeteria, most of the area down to the nurse's station, the office, the library, and then it's spotty from there what there is for emergency lights or lighting runs. It's not every fixture in the building.
Okay.
But it'll be a good project completed, and we can use that as it'll be the emergency shelter location. Could you check and see what her status is,
Yes.
please?
So question on that vendor for Friendship Park, is that going out to bid, or are we just talking to one vendor?
I'm sorry, say that question again.
The vendor for the irrigation on Friendship Park, is that going to bid, or just one person?
We're not even doing any project yet, we're just talking to him to see what the cost would be and what we're looking at.
But it would have to go out to bid, correct?
Yeah, looking at him as a consultant, essentially, right now.
Gotcha.
Correct, Jason? Getting information.
He's already got a design.
Yeah, there's a design that he's built, but
Okay.
What happened to the irrigation system that was there? Where is it? Is it still there, or did somebody stave it up? I mean, we put quite a bunch of money into that field with irrigation 15, 20 years ago.
There's no irrigation in the field. There's
Spigots.
spigots, right, on the fence line.
So they used to put
But it,
hoses out with sprinklers.
Yeah, I would say.
but there's nothing in the ground.
there were sprinkler heads in that field at one time.
Not that I know of.
Well, yes, there was. Going back quite a ways, Van Fogwell was involved in it, but there was piping put in that field. And
Somebody-
They stuck down in the ground and they'd come up.
Somebody got a
Water pressure.
metal detector?
Well, I think there was plastic, if the truth was known, but
Well,
they
that won't
used, once you turn the pump on, they'd come up about 3 inches and it covered that whole field. And there was quite a bunch of neighboring business owners that put money into that and put that in. And they had to put a bigger pump in to have water pressure enough to water that field. And I'm going back into the 90s, but no.
When you were
It
just
was
this big.
there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we used to water it with a hose.
Is the water situation squared away?
They said that there's enough gallons per minute to do the field. What we were told.
I mean, with the dug well that was there was water enough, but then they put an artesian in because they said they couldn't get water enough out of it, but all they needed to do was pull that point and put a new point in and it would have given them the same amount of water. But there's been a lot of stuff going on down there, but
I'm looking.
I don't either.
Who did you say put it in?
Well,
Well-
Van Fogwell, of course, was a code enforcement and plumbing inspector here for years, but he took care of the water down there. And there was a dug well that watered that field
She's
from
coming. She just
back in the
finished.
70s up through.
Do those spigots
Yeah.
charge? Do they charge up?
Mm-hmm.
They do. But it's rental like that.
We run out of water.
Oh, you run out of water on that system?
Come on in.
So sorry.
There's work to be done.
I know. How are you?
How are you?
Good. So I'm just going to discuss the election a little bit.
No, we need you to swear us in.
Okay, we'll start with
First.
that first. All right, so who would like to go first? We can do it alphabetically.
We can do it together.
There you go.
All right. We can do it together.
You want us to stand?
Sure. I would say that's an appropriate formality. Okay. So do you, David Chevette, and Dennis Abbott swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States so long as you shall continue a citizen thereof, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. And do you, Dennis Abbott and David Chevette, swear that you will discharge to the best of your abilities the duties incumbent on you as a Board of Selectmen member to the Constitution and laws of the state?
I do.
I do.
Perfect. It's easy. If you guys sign it.
Thank you. Wasn't gonna comment on that, but I was thinking the same thing. Thank you.
That was for a 6-year term, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
3 years.
So since you're here, why don't you do your update on the election, and then we'll move on from there.
Sure, yeah. So aside from a little machine issue in the morning, which could have happened to anyone, the election went very smooth. We had about an 11% turnout, which I was kind of hoping for a better turnout because it was a primary, but it is what it is. It was still a steady day. There were a lot of changes with the setup of election this year, as well as just some other smaller things, and it seemed to help things stay more fluid throughout the day. And I had many compliments from the workers as well as patrons coming in saying they liked the setup, and it seemed to go relatively quick, even though we are confined to 2 voting machines, so that does slow down the process a little bit. So I would say all in all it was a smooth day, a little bit of a late night, but aside from that, I can't have any complaints. It went good.
What can we do to make it a little shorter night?
Honestly,
Not a shorter night, but make it so that you girls, employees can get out of there
yeah, so
rather than 12 o'clock, not
Well,
2 or 3.
it's really contingent on the election. I've had that conversation with Matt. I'm all for recruiting more workers if possible, but again, finding help is hard. You are limited. When it comes down to closing down the polls, it's easy to delegate more things to other workers that maybe Christine or I or Nancy or someone else would be doing. Instead, have those workers stay longer and help with those things. When it comes to a June election, you have that school budget, so you do have to count those by hand, and that does slow down the process, and there's no way of speeding that up unless they were to put everything through the DS200 and change to that formality. But that is costly. And I would say most places still count school budget by hand, based on my experience.
That little box that the school district, I believe, supplied us was a joke.
I understand that, and I've definitely heard that concern from either the workers or, again, constituents coming in. I did reach out to Jim Carl because he said he thought he may have had a box bigger, but it was not bigger than what we had. So I've already discussed and thought of something different. I plan on either reaching out to Pete, who works here, or maybe some COT students and seeing if they'll build something different.
I don't believe it's the town's duties. I believe it said 57 to supply that box for us.
I understand that, but at the same time...
It ain't one that you're gonna cut your finger when you slide your finger in to get the boot, slide your paper in.
Yep.
You know, it's either gotta be wider or a little smoother because I watched one lady slide her thing in, and next thing you know, she's bleeding. It just wasn't kosher.
And I would agree, and I don't know how long that box has been in use. I know it was most definitely here before I was here. When I had my meeting with my workers, they had some concerns. I tried to mitigate those concerns as best as I could before this upcoming election. That was one I could not address right away. So I think by reaching out to the school department and reaching out to COT members or students, it would get the students involved, but it would also hopefully be free of cost because they'd be building it.
So when we get to November,
Yep.
are we doubling up voting machines?
So I would have to rent one. The thing that was different about this election is where you had that primary and we had the municipal, I couldn't combine my USB sticks. So I had to have a separate town box and a separate state box. So if they were able to read everything, it would have gone quicker. But where I had to have everything split, that's what kind of slowed everything down. I am all for either purchasing, if of course it's in the budget, or also renting another box or another DS200. But again, that comes down to money. They've had talks of switching them, so I think committing to a purchase may not be the right thing to
But we
do.
rent them from the state, right?
Correct.
Right now?
For now, yep. I don't know when that change is going to happen. It's just been talked about for a little while now. What they're changing to, I still don't know. But I think where you have a gubernatorial coming up and you are going to have a high voter turnout, it would be wise to look into that.
Renting a third one?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Would
Yeah,
agree with that.
even if
Even a
you have-
fourth one, I don't think would
Even
be.
if you have two for the state election, federal election, right?
Yeah.
And one for, because I'm sure we're going to have.
If we have something in
municipal
November,
question.
exactly,
Right.
that'll just slow down the process.
So probably 4 would be in line.
I think 4 would be wise.
And no matter what, in June, you're still going to hand count the school.
No matter what, we still have to hand count the
Deletions.
school.
But-
And really,
so-
that isn't only a 2-person job. You know, you're going through, you're separating them in bundles of 50, then you're going through and tallying them, yes, no, and the school provides us with that. And like I said, that's not abnormal even in today's age to still do that for a school budget. I don't like it myself. It creates a long night, especially when you had 2 this year. It's about 1,400 ballots we had to count by hand.
Yeah.
So, but again, I wouldn't say it's out of the norm.
Okay.
Well, good job.
Thank you.
Very efficient.
Yeah, I had some new signage. The setup was different. Like I said, there were some concerns that some workers had from previous, elections, and just they kind of gave me their feedback, and I tried to do my best to help them out and make it easier on them. But I wouldn't say it was a bad day.
Realistically, now's the time to start advertising that you're looking for help in November, and see if you can get a new list of volunteers.
Absolutely.
And also, now's the time to be looking for that second, third, and fourth machine to have it knocked down rather than 2 or 3 weeks before the election and try to do it.
Yeah, I definitely would not do that, I
Well, no,
promise. But I definitely got
Now's the
some
time to
feedback.
start doing it.
Yep.
Is that something that we reserve with the state?
Yeah, that's something, so the state provides those, well,
Right.
ES&S, so
We could
I say the
reserve an
state,
extra-
correct, I would have to
More.
contact ES&S, again, see what the pricing is. If you guys, if it doesn't matter, I guess, budget-wise, and you would rather have that third DS200, I can make that happen.
It's one of those things where we can spend money hiring people to count ballots, right? Or we can try to automate as much as we can, right? So,
I would agree, but the school would have to be on board with that. And then they can't just be on board with us. From what I understand, all of our C-57
Yeah, I
have to
think-
be on board.
I think that's a somewhat of a cop-out, but, because I think that if we counted, the wording's gonna be the same, but there's no reason that we couldn't count them in a voting machine, right? But,
They would have to be coded, yep, I upload everything for the town with
But
ES&S.
realistically, if it was they was all coded throughout the 5 towns, it don't matter whether you count them by hand or count them by machine. If they're made to be counted by machine, you can still count them by hand, because if the computer don't
Correct, you'd have
work
to,
that
I'd be
night, then
obligated
you're
to
still
count them
gonna
by
count them by
hand.
hand. So
Absolutely.
It's just a matter of getting the right ballot to go through that machine, and it still can be used if the other towns don't wanna be involved in a machine, then they can still count them by hand.
But they would have to then, from what I understand, purchase those type of ballots, so why would they, or
Yeah, but
I believe this, the school supplies us with those ballots. So someone, whether it be the town at that point or the school department, would have to pay for those ballots.
they're paying for somebody to print the ballots now, right?
Cost-wise, there ain't much difference.
They just,
I can't
it's
believe.
very, as you know, it's a very somewhat informal ballot. There is a formality to it, but it's nothing, it's on colored paper.
Yeah, it's not rocket science, so. Any other questions, Marina? If not, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a
Appreciate
great
it.
night.
All right, item 3, election of chair and vice chair for the next fiscal year, so I would open nominations. Don't all speak at once.
I'll nominate Dennis Abbott as chair.
Dwayne, would you be interested, Chair? I'll nominate you.
No,
Takes care of that.
I don't mind the assistant, but
Okay.
vice chair, but I just haven't got the time to
That's-
put into the chair.
Gotcha. I'll second that nomination then.
I'm willing to help, but I'm not willing to.
Are there any other nominations?
And you're not interested?
No, sir, thank you. I like this chair. Right
So
now.
if someone would move the nomination cease, then we'll move on.
So moved.
And I need a second for that.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? All right. There's been one nomination for chair. Been moved by Selectman Woodsum, seconded by Selectman Chevette for Dennis Abbott to serve as chair. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Election of vice chair. So I would open the nominations for vice chair.
I'll nominate Dwayne for vice chair.
Second that.
Are there any other nominations?
You interested?
So I'd entertain a motion to cease nominations.
So moved.
And I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor of ceasing nominations? Opposed? All those in favor of Dwayne Woodsum as vice chair for the year ensuing? All those in favor?
I don't
Opposed?
need to vote.
You put up doing this, Dwayne.
Yeah.
So that sets the slate. All right, let's move on to public hearings. We have no public hearing tonight. Any announcements from the board?
I do. First of all, I want to take 2 seconds to thank the staff here at Town Hall for all their hard work last week at the ballot and the voting there at the school. As Marina was saying, it would be nice to see some more volunteers step up to get these folks out a little bit earlier. So I'll throw that out there. Middle Road paving, outstanding job. Jason, you did a great job pulling it all together. I think it's nice to see that. So, and then personally, I want to thank the voters in town for having a little bit of trust in me, and Dennis to continue representing you.
Any other announcements? Dwayne, anything?
I just got a couple comments on comments that's been running around town. When you got a road construction project, these boys are gonna get started in the morning. And if you need to get to work and you don't wanna be held up, either go early or go the other way. It's stupid. I mean, these boys have got to work, and they work daylight to dark when it's a paving job and whatnot. And the few comments that I've heard that, oh, why can't they start at 8 o'clock so I can get to work? That isn't, it just ain't right. These guys are out there trying to make it better for you, and we don't need that type of comments. Comment up to the lake. Done a wonderful job getting the dock in, getting the guardrails up to the top of the hill as the boats or people come into the park. I think we need a couple no parking signs right at the top of the hill, because what they're doing is packing on both sides of that entrance, and then you haven't got room enough to turn to pull a big boat in. There's just not swing enough, especially coming from down, from the north end of town down to get in. But
Parking
it's
inside.
just inside the park for about maybe 20 or 25 feet where the old gate was. It's too narrow now to slide your trailer over, and it's stupid for somebody to park there, but they're doing it, and then it's blocking the park completely, so you can't get down through there, especially with a bigger boat or a bigger truck.
Speaking of parking, the Public Safety Committee is working on a proposed ordinance for a proposed parking ordinance, which would have a little bit more teeth in it than what we currently have right now. But what you're saying is, I 100% agree, but we need the contract deputies to enforce that too.
Well, that was the tail end of my thing here, but they're still parking out on Route 5, and when you come down through there on the weekend, it's very tight, and we need the contract deputies definitely to patrol that and send out a few either warnings or tickets to go to Springvale and
So I think it's only $10 fine.
So currently, the fine is only $10 for no parking, and it's paid directly to the town. I don't know about anybody else, but if I was coming from out of town, I'd risk paying a $10 fine.
I did not know the fine was only 10, but
That's what the proposed ordinance that the Public Safety Committee is working on. It has a little bit more of a sting to it, if you will, if you're in violation of that.
I would dare say that 50 and 100 is well in the ballpark.
Or a tow.
50 the first time and 100 the second time, and
Yeah. Yep.
The other, looks good down there, looks really nice. The dock is very much appreciated. When I was splashing my boat and then coming up the ramp, I had a thought, what if somebody slipped on the gas? Where are they gonna end up? They're gonna end up right in the porta potty. So I don't know what we can do with those, but I know that people at boat launches, anything can happen at a boat launch.
Yeah.
So I don't get to slide those things over, so that way if somebody jams the gas, get their truck out or whatever, they don't end up smashing into a porta potty. It's not funny, it's somebody sitting in there, or a kid coming out.
Jason and I have, and I think Matt was involved, we've looked at that, and it would be ideal to slide it over 20 to 30 feet to the left if you're coming out of the water.
Yeah.
But that means you gotta dig into the bank, and the concern is the erosion on Secocas Ave.
I think you get some pretty good sized rocks up there that you're gonna get into.
Yeah.
I think
If
that's
we
why
slide
those
stuff
are,
over, we're gonna have to do a big retaining wall.
you're talking quite a bunch of money. That was
Then over so many
looked at many years ago.
And then you're gonna lose a parking spot.
Yeah.
Well, and I'd rather lose a parking spot than somebody.
Yep.
No, I would agree with
That
that.
to me, if we slid them over right now and lost a parking spot, I'm
And
not having any high
that might
feelings.
be a solution to
Yep.
just slide them over into a parking spot.
Just for
Maybe
now.
restripe it.
Yeah.
But there again, you slide them into a parking spot, and then you got a car coming down through there, and where they are now, they're tucked in so that the car coming down over, yes, car out of the lake might run into it, but your chances of getting hurt, they're quite a bit more than of a car coming down through the park, moving them out into the parking lot.
Yeah. I think it's something to look into. I think a wall definitely that needs to be done. The one that's there is starting to rot as is, so.
Yep.
Along the road.
Yeah.
Got the old creosote railroad ties,
Right.
Yeah.
and they're falling apart.
Yep.
We looked at
We
those.
can do a nice finesse block wall down there or something.
Something that needs to be in the budget though.
Yeah.
Is there room for stanchions in front of those things?
That's what I was
I think
thinking.
it'd be too tight.
Piece of pipe.
Too tight?
I don't know.
Not what they are right now.
Oh, we suggested we talk about even moving them across the street on the,
Yeah.
to the right corner there, but, the fence is there, but we didn't think that was be a best spot.
Aesthetic,
But
it is.
yeah, it just wasn't over the crap.
Yeah,
And if it does leak,
when they keep tipping
Yeah.
the hole up.
Right, because people enjoy tipping them over.
Sure do.
It's nice.
And at least they go through the
Drainage
filtration
field.
At least
unit,
it-
right?
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, anything else, folks? Any additions or deletions to the agenda? Sensing none, we've already got dispelled with Marina. Public comments. Anybody would like to comment that's not on the agenda? Sensing none, let's go to correspondence. The treasurer's reports are available, the motor vehicle report. Also, we've got this month's York County Sheriff's monthly reports, which I would presume are from our contract deputies, correct? So if anybody's interested in any of that information, you can either pull it up off from the packet that's published on a weekly basis, or give a call to Laura here and she'll make sure that you get a copy. Reports and staff initiatives, Selectmen's reports. Mike?
not too much. I got the Little Oscar Lake Association, you probably got this too, Dennis, the annual report for the lake. So I was happy to see the money that they have in the coffers to make sure, in case we have an invasive species, that we've got some cash on hand to take care of that. I don't sit on the association, so I was just getting informed by reading this. Encourage people to pay their dues. It goes to a good cause. I think the boat launch program is still very important to make sure that the lake stays healthy. We haven't had any issues down there, have we? They haven't had to call anybody? No Japanese or anything? No.
I'm aware of.
All right. Well, yeah, so get your copy if you want to know more about it.
Okay. Anything else, Mike?
No.
Dave?
I have nothing.
Dwayne?
No, I have nothing, no, I got nothing.
Josh and I attended the annual meeting of Eco Maine, which was a nice little luncheon, and we did have the luxury of having a gentleman talk to us about the future of recycling and waste to energy and those kind of things. So fairly informative. I think you can pick up a copy of that information off the Eco Maine website if you're interested. We've already listened to the town administrator's report from Matt. Anything else to add, Matt?
No, I'm good.
All right, let's go to new business. We have in front of us discuss a vote on the resignation from Dana Brown from the Select Board effective July 19th. In the packet is signed resignation. And so I guess I would accept a motion to accept that resignation.
So moved.
And a second.
I'll second that. Take the time to thank him for his service to the
Yep.
town.
I appreciate the time and effort. I know he's a very, very busy man this time of year, so we do appreciate Dana's involvement on the board.
Appreciate all the hours that he has put into with the board, so.
So, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? All right, next on the agenda is how do we want to handle moving forward? We have two options here, or I guess maybe more than two options. Discuss vote on the action to take regarding the resignation of Dana Brown. We can do, and I guess it's up to this board, we can do nothing. And Dana's term would end June 30th of next year. Or we can run a special election in November at the gubernatorial election. So, what are your thoughts?
I'd like to see us have an election in November. for a 7-month term.
Anything else?
I would agree with that.
I would agree, and I'll bring it up later. If we're gonna have an election, there's a couple other things that probably ought to be put on the list.
Yeah, well, we can have that discussion
Yeah.
at a later date, but I would agree that let's move forward
I'll make
with,
a motion that we have an election in November for the absence of Dana Brown.
Second.
any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Discuss vote on committee and staff appointments, renewals to expire this end of this month. And I believe in your packet, we had Craig Abbott on the Public Safety Committee, Donna Variety on the Community Gardens, Jennifer Bishop, Library Board of Trustees, Dorothy Brocup, Cemetery Committee, Sandra Jorgensen, Community Gardens, Thomas Lee, Budget Committee, Bob Lehman. I guess I'm confused here. Is he already appointed through 2027?
I'm sorry, I didn't look at Marina's, that's from Marina.
Well, it says term to expire 6/30/2027, so.
What board was it?
ZBA.
ZBA.
Oh, when he gets reappointed tonight, it'll expire.
Oh,
on the
okay.
22nd. That's how she
So,
did it.
in David Lowe, Cable TV Community, Cable TV Committee, and Saco River Community TV. So as our representative there, Lisa Moulton, Community Gardens, Diane Seahagen, Budget Committee, Angela Silva, Cemetery Committee, Matthew McBean is an addition,
Yeah.
Conservation Commission, and Nancy Roberge, Road Review Committee, and the Public Safety Committee.
Okay, I would like to see, before we vote on this, how many of these members are actually attending? And I would ask that the board postpone this till the next meeting and look at their attendance. We're only talking, July 5th.
Their terms expire June 30th.
Yeah.
Right.
So there won't be any meetings, they ain't gonna miss any meetings, but, I'd like to see because there's no sense to put somebody back onto a board if they're not attending.
But these folks have all said they would get reappointed, right?
Yes.
So what is your pleasure here, I guess? Wayne suggested that we look at attendance.
I wouldn't mind exploring the attendance, just to have maybe somebody scoot over the minutes of the meetings,
Okay.
just to see who's there and not there, and what they're doing.
You know, if they're not holding meetings, then it's
That's
tough
moot,
not to
right.
attend.
Right,
to
no,
attend.
that would be moot, right?
So-
Well, the Conservation Commission doesn't have enough members.
Right.
But I spoke with Matthew McBean, and he wants to be reappointed, and he's going to try to get 4 other people to
Right.
join. He thinks he might be able to get some more members
Good.
Right,
for the
so,
conservation.
so do you want to postpone this until the next meeting?
Yeah,
Is that your motion?
I will make it a motion if,
You want to second that
I will.
motion, David?
Yes.
So we'll just review attendance,
Yep.
and we'll add them back onto the agenda for the next meeting. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? All right. Please review the following staff appointments for renewal with terms to expire on 6/30/2023. Shirley Bartlett, who is our assessor. Code Enforcement Officer Michael Kilpatrick. Deputy Code Officer James Allaire. Licensed Plumbing Inspector Michael Kilpatrick. And Licensed Plumbing Inspector James Allaire, or Deputy Licensed Plumbing Inspector.
I will make a motion that the 5 that are listed on our paperwork tonight be reappointed. For Assessor, Code Enforcement, Deputy Code Enforcement, licensed plumbing inspector and the deputy licensed plumbing inspector be reappointed
Okay.
tonight.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
No performance issues.
I don't believe there's any issues.
Not that I'm aware of either. I've not had any issues.
I don't know how much Jim Alea now works for us, but I guess.
Very limited.
Yeah,
Very limited.
But he's there
but yeah, he's there.
and very,
Responsive.
yes.
So, all those in favor? Opposed? All right. Okay, set the public hearing date for the temporary closure of winter roads. If you recall, we talked about Bennett Hill Road. In the past, we've also talked about other roads that we would potentially close as we move forward. So I guess we missed this boat last year, the date. So is there interest in running a public hearing and potentially closing or temporary closure of winter roads? What's your pleasure here? State law is very specific in that if we decide we have to run a public hearing between May 1st and October 1st of any year and set forth the roads or portions thereof in a municipality reference to that we would not maintain them.
We've got a little bit of time, but is this something we want to send to the road review for a list of these roads that should or may want to be closed? I'm thinking about Blueberry Road, or the Milk Road. And we got to get involved with Alfred because they got 1,000 feet over there in the middle of that piece of road, but
Well, we don't maintain them now, right? I mean, winter maintenance.
Right. Not the section you're speaking of.
right.
No, do we maintain Bennett Hill Road, but the
How
only way
many
that
of
we're
these
gonna, we
roads,
can.
how many, is it just the Bennett Hill Road that we're concerned with, or is it Chadman's Ridge from wherever, 117 in there, half a mile to up beyond the tower? I ain't been up in there for a while, but they keep building houses up there, but
So,
That should be on the list.
I mean, if the road review committee is now meeting on a regular basis, right?
yeah.
Yeah, they're not meeting the month of July though.
Right.
Right, so,
Right.
but they're gonna meet the first part of August, right? So if they came to us with a recommendation, sometime in August, right?
Yeah.
That would give us, we have until October 1st.
So why don't we set the public hearing for, we know that we got to set the public hearing for the first week in September.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, the road review could look at all of these.
August 8th is when they meet next.
So September 6th would be our first meeting in September, or the 20th. I would think we would do it the 6th,
Set the hearing for that.
right?
I mean, we get the hearing set, but we have a little bit of input
From the road
request
review.
that the road review be involved here.
So do we want to tentatively,
Should probably come as a recommendation from Jason, right?
right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's why we want to establish a date that we were going to have him provide you a list of the roads.
So
Yep.
let's pencil it in for September 6th, right?
Okay.
That's the day after Labor Day, right? Everybody okay with that?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Discuss a vote to sign the renewal liquor license for Woody's Restaurant.
Make a motion to renew their liquor license. I don't think there's any issues.
Yeah,
Second
I don't think there's any issues.
No issues.
So been moved by Mike,
Seconded.
seconded by Dave. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Discuss vote to sign a consent municipal release deed, map 45, lot 001, 689 and 690.
This is a tax lien deal.
No, it's a corrective deed. I wrote it on there. When they did the deed originally, they only put lot 689 on there. And so Shirley is correcting the deed to say 689 and 90. It should have had both of
Okay,
them.
should have had both.
Yes.
All right. So this adds both to the same deed, right? And
Were there liens on both of the lots? Is that
The
why?
quitclaim deed originally should have had both lots on there, and it only had 689.
Got it, okay.
so
But the
this,
taxes have been paid on both lots at this point.
so this adds
Correct?
690, right?
I don't know the answer to a tax question, I don't. This is coming from Shirley, so I have no idea.
It must have been paid by now.
I would assume she was, but the public wasn't paid.
Right.
I'll make a motion that we accept the corrected municipal release deed.
Okay, can I have a second?
Second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Discuss vote to adjustments of possibility required to close out FY 2022. All right, so Matt, I think
I typed up a quick document for you with the two accounts. We've gone through the, Julie and I went through the budget, and we found, two that were identified here. One's in the treasurer and IT department, that we wanted to transfer $1,000 to each of them from the planning department. From 6201, 15, 5125, which was dues and subscriptions, which had $2,500 in it remaining, and transfer $1,000 from each to both those departments. We haven't identified anything else that will be, that we don't think is a problem.
okay, so if something above and beyond this does come up, all right, we may require a special selectmen's meeting. But
And our plan is to review it next Tuesday as well.
I don't think anything's radically out of place, right? Yeah.
The FEMA, not the FEMA money, but the
APRA money.
APRA money is all taken care of.
That was true, she transferred that, her and Laura worked last week,
Everything
and
was done this weekend,
And that
and I
was
sent
it's been
you your
transferred.
report.
That was the second report that you
Yes,
sent
sir.
out, right?
Nothing needs to be transferred from one to the other, though.
There'll be another transfer of APRA money on the 28th or 29th,
Right,
With a
but
smaller
this-
dollar.
for
this-
2 more weeks payroll.
But it's
Minimum.
But
This-
it's all, we haven't gotta do
Right.
anything with
No.
it.
No,
Okay.
So this is the request to move out of planning, a grand total of $2,000, $1,000 to the treasurer and $1,000 to the IT department.
I will make a motion that we take $2,000 out of the planning department, 1,000 to go to the treasurer, and 1,000 to the IT, and the numbers are 3001, 10, 5,000, and 32-01, 10, 5,000. The two accounts that the 1,000 each is going into.
What's it gonna be used for?
Balance
balance.
the
Just
budget
balances
for the
all.
They
year.
ran over?
Yeah,
What's that?
They ran over?
that's not bad.
Well, it may not, and it may very well not, but any type of, any bills that may be coming in that we don't have, or whether he has subscriptions or
Yeah.
computer.
So in
costs.
the planning part of it, I mean, we ended up buying the IT stuff, right, the software, which came out of your budget. So it really should have come out of the CEO or the planning budget, right? So,
We've had, the one thing that's gonna maybe come close is we have a bill for some alarm system upgrades that we did, and they took, it was gonna come out of somewhere else, not IT, but it took so long to come in that we weren't able to put it in where we originally
Right,
had
okay.
been planning on doing it. So, it just kinda got forgotten about ultimately, because he didn't know us for a couple of months.
So on the municipal
So
side,
that's the one I think we're gonna be able to squeeze under there with that little extra.
so a couple $1,000 in the grand scheme of things on, what, 5 million, and,
Out of a $5 million budget,
Yeah.
we're a couple $1,000 not over budget because the money is in different budgets, but we're not in bad shape at all.
Correct.
Pretty proud of everything.
all right,
I'll second
so,
Dwayne's motion.
moved by Dwayne, seconded by Mike. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Discuss, H, discuss possible vote for selectmen to allow town administrator to sign the ambulance purchase agreement with Sugarloaf Rescue Vehicles. And as Matt had talked about in his thing, and we had approved at the annual meeting, or the annual vote, to at least put the next ambulance on order, so.
Yeah. My suggestion would be, Matt and the chair sign that agreement only to cover Matt conflict of interest. Not that there's a lot there, but if the chair of the selectmen and the town administrator signs that, it covers everybody.
It is a little bit of added insurance, because we're charting uncharted waters.
I just don't want to see any trouble.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do it.
So,
You got any problem with that, Dennis?
no, I don't.
Okay,
So that's,
I'll make that a motion.
Second.
any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? I would guess that we're not gonna get it in 18 months, but we'll see.
Clean.
Is that bond, is that 17% interest? Is that what I saw? No.
That may have been the total. I don't know what the total bill was. I don't have it in front of me, but, and we did it as a bond or a lease, so we can do whichever's going to be in our favor, or cheaper at the time. Maybe be creative on that, because the bond would require that borrowing question. It was in the front first.
Right.
A lease doesn't require that, because a lease isn't considered a debt.
Right. Operating expenses.
Well, yeah. Anything else under new business that we missed?
I don't know if you had a chance to peruse that, but it looks like the board has to take action. Natalie responded, and we may need some assistance from the board. I haven't had a chance to digest this, but
So this goes back to,
900 Main Street.
this goes back to Mike Gilpatrick's thing that you covered in your report, right?
Correct.
Where the septic is running over the ground. Okay. Well, it'll take a minute to digest this, so if we have to react, then we will react, I guess. But I would think that Mikey can, the CEO can handle what's got to be done, right?
Says it would require notice from the select board in order to, for the owner to fix within 10 days of service of the order.
Yeah, but at the town's expense though, and then reimburse from the property owner.
Right. I think what he's trying to do is, there's already a design done, right? According to what
I didn't
the
get,
CEO told me earlier today, that there's a design done. He's just trying to pull the trigger to get him
I know
to.
he's been in contact with an excavation company, I don't know who that was. And he's been on site for the last couple of weeks, it's been pumped 4 times, I believe. 4 or 5 times, it's been pumped.
At whose expense?
That is
property owner.
property
Yeah.
owner.
So there's
The
two.
property owner is now living in town, correct?
I believe it's Connecticut. I don't hold me to that, but I believe I don't live in town.
He's not living in his father's residence at this point?
Not that we were made aware of today, but
Okay.
he thought it was that.
You got an out-of-state number?
that
Well,
It also says that we, a member of the select board, the order has to
Or
be served by a
verbally.
member of the select board or by the deputy sheriff.
that's if we're gonna install the system. Right, I mean,
Is this on the Brook Pond side of
No.
Main Street? Or
Yeah,
is
that's
it
the
on,
other
it's
side.
Other side.
on the Millbrook side of Main Street?
The Upland side, yeah.
Corner of the Holmes Road.
yeah, Holmes Road.
Oh,
I'm
Right
trying
at the,
not
right
to,
at the corner.
I'm trying
Yeah.
not to tell you where it is, but
Right, no.
other than
got it.
very close neighborhood down through there. Probably gonna involve 4 or 5 different houses right there, so it's a dangerous situation.
So we gotta do something to go, code enforcement's gonna act on this, because you don't want that
Right.
stuff.
So let's, I
Spill
guess,
over.
Look at the
let's get,
pictures.
let's get Mike and you to digest this. If we gotta call an emergency meeting to
Stuff.
serve the person, then we'll do that.
Yep.
Well, my question is whether Matt can handle this. If we vote to allow Matt to handle this, as a town administrator, I would think he's got more power than the select board.
Well, we can authorize
We
him.
can authorize him to do
And
it
if-
tonight, and then it's done. I mean, if we need another meeting, that's fine, but
Yeah.
I don't think we do. I think if we authorize Matt to represent the Board of Selectmen, which he is anyway, it allows him to get started in the morning.
And if we have to have a meeting, we'll just reach out.
Yeah.
To me, we're gonna fix it, right?
Well,
We're
we're
gonna fix this.
gonna force him to fix it, or we're gonna fix it, right?
So it's option one.
I would go with, I mean, my recommendation would be to go with option one, like right now, get
Yep.
it fixed, and if we have to do legal action later for
Right.
reimbursement, then we just go that route.
Yeah.
That would be my thought.
If we
And I think the issue is what she's saying in the second paragraph, or I think it's third.
we've done this
You have 4
before,
people,
Yeah.
and,
Right, 4 families.
4 families.
yeah,
And it's not their fault.
That's
They're
right,
probably paying their rent,
correct.
and where they're gonna go. So I would say just make a motion to use option one. And serve them, and if they don't fix it in 10 days, then we go fix it.
I'm good with that. Somebody want to second that?
I'll second that, absolutely.
That way you're not making we're all making the choice,
Yeah,
the decision,
right,
not
yeah.
just,
Right.
you know.
So I would agree. We utilize option one,
option one,
Yep.
and go from there.
and the board authorizes that that's where we're gonna move forward.
Yep.
Right?
Do we have somebody that we contract to do this for us as the town, or do we just?
We would
go
have
out
to, we would have to
We've-
get somebody.
We've had 2 or 3 different ones. My recommendation on this, the town has done it before, no. Hire it, get it done,
Be
Yeah,
done with it.
because we've got too much
We use,
public works work out there right now that we're trying to get done, and it's a 3 or a 4 day project.
this is a big system too,
Yeah.
4
Well-
apartments,
Yeah,
it's a good sized system.
I even used the guy up here last, up on town.
Yeah.
So-
Matt Jones has put one in or 2.
Let's not go hire a contractor.
Right.
Let's get beyond, we need a vote. So any further discussion on the motion, which is to activate option one? All those in favor? Okay, so you have authority to go do what you gotta do. And if we gotta find a contractor, we find a contractor, right? Anything else?
Just as a reminder that I will be out on vacation on the July 4th week.
What are you talking about?
Right.
You just started.
But I think yeah, that's your meeting on the 5th, but, so I won't be here for the meeting, but I'll reach out to Julie as we did last time and we get the warrant signed.
Okay,
So who do we go to when you're out? We haven't discussed that yet.
Dave's been a generally a point person during the day. Obviously, I have my phones working, so I'll be in phone contact.
You're on vacation.
But, yeah,
So,
but we've done it for a couple other ones prior already from last year, so, but.
all right. Discuss vote to approve the minutes of June 7th meeting.
Yeah, under old business. Charter, if we're gonna go to, we need to ask the townspeople if they want to review the charter.
So why don't-
And it's coming up, and
November.
Why don't we add items that may or may not go on in November?
yeah,
We already voted tonight to have a special election, right? So there might be one or two other questions. One is the charter, right? Because that gets you permission to elect a
all it
charter
does is
commission, right?
to create
Create
a
the
charter.
charter commission.
And then,
Right.
in June of next year, we would elect a vote for 5 charter members, and then the Board of Selectmen would appoint
Right.
4 or 5 more.
I think there's a total of 9.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 9 or 10, but we
All right,
need to
so-
do that now
so we'll-
to get it started.
Under pending decisions, let's put November election issues, right?
Okay.
All right. Discuss vote to approve the minutes of June 7th, 2020.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Pending decisions, we'll add that as a thing, week's action list. We're all set with you and Mike taking whatever action you get on. Items for next agenda. Something comes up, please let me know, or Laura know, or Matt know. Items needing signature, renewal of liquor license for Woody's Restaurant, and a corrective municipal release deed. I believe that is all that needs to be signed, right? With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Good night.
David Fisher.